and exceptional women. And now I am so honored to present the Courage Award to Keziah Furth. Keziah Furth was given the freedom to explore by her parents at a very young age. So she embraced her independence, grabbed her backpack, and eagerly started to engage with the world. Up for anything, her mother told me, Keziah lives large. And those who know her say she lives every day with a zest for people and life that is simply impossible to ignore, impossible not to admire or honor. She fell in love with the people of Haiti. It was a trip when she was a nursing student a few years ago at Northeastern University. The people have absolutely nothing, she wrote, but the tiny things they do have, they want to share with you. So she made a very big decision, one that came from her boundless heart and soul. Haiti became her home, and nursing sick and malnourished children back to health became her passion. And then, late in the afternoon, on January 12th, the earth shook, and Keziah wrote in her blog a few days later, "Thank you for all your prayers. I am exhausted. Working hard to take care of hundreds of injured people every day, we anxiously await the arrival of relief. It is lonely and depressing, but it is definitely where I am needed." So at only 24 years old, she has learned a good deal more about life than most. She knows where she is needed. And she also knows that love is the source of her courage.
Go.
I went to a high school and I grew up in a family where service was a very important concept. I had known since I was a kid that I wanted to do something medical as a career. And when I was in high school, I had the opportunity to live in France for a year, so I became fluent in French, and that got me thinking, well, wouldn't it be great if I could live somewhere where they really need medical care? I went to Haiti to meet some of the orphan children, and at the end of my 5 days, the kids looked at me and they said, "Are you going to forget about us?" And that was it. I can't ever forget about Haiti. When the earthquake hit, things were just utter chaos. There were buildings completely destroyed, thousands of people running down the street just in panic, screaming and crying. My street was completely blocked off with rubble. I had to climb over pieces of the building. I had 300 people camped out in the field beside my house, and there was not a moment during that first night that people were not praying and singing songs together. They were setting up tents, they were cooking for each other, they were looking after the babies who had been orphaned. It's been hard. I used to work with patients that are gone, are they dead? I'm not even sure. I'm completely healthy. I'm fine. Couldn't I have done more? If I had been more experienced, or if I had had more equipment on hand, could I have saved their lives? I had friends, I had a home, and all those things are gone now. It's all gone. I have a new life, but it's the most chaotic, crazy, work-intense life I could have ever envisioned for myself. It's overwhelming. If they can get up and do this, and this is their home, this is their country, if they can do that, I can do that. And so you keep going, because there's another patient that needs to be stitched up. And so you just keep going. You have to keep going. Over the years of working in Haiti, I see it as serving means loving people.
She's the singer of Magic 6.7's Courage Award, Keziah Furth.
When you were little, did you ever plan out your life? I did. I decided that by the time I was 25, I would be married with at least 2 children. I'd be working part-time as a nurse, living in a house with a white picket fence, and I'd spend my evenings listening to Red Sox games on the radio. Well, I'm going to be 25 in just a few months, and I think it would be fair to say that my life has not exactly turned out the way I envisioned it. Never in my wildest dreams would I have said, when I'm 24, I'm going to live through the worst natural disaster that Haiti has ever seen. We watch movies about the kinds of things that I saw and did during those first weeks after the earthquake. Movies. These things are not supposed to happen in real life. But they did happen. I really did work all night in a field while tremors happened every half hour, saving some victims and watching others die. I really did walk out every day from refugee camp to camp, bandaging wounds and giving shots, only to come home at night and take care of a badly injured friend all night. I really did ration out my food and water and realize that without help, we might starve in a week. It was a nightmare, and not a day goes by that I don't wish the earthquake had never happened. And yet, because of the earthquake, I finally achieved a goal that I thought I might never achieve. In Haiti, because I'm white, I stick out like a sore thumb. It doesn't matter how perfect my Creole is, or how badly I want to just be part of the crowd, I'm always treated a little bit differently. Until the earthquake. Now, I'm a true member of the Haitian community in my neighborhood. When I walk down the street, everyone, adult and child, greets me. When problems arise, I'm included in the resolution, and when rejoicing happens, I'm dragged out onto the street to dance with them. 2 months after the earthquake, I was walking home one day when a woman stepped out of her house with a big smile on her face. "Remember me?" she asked, and pointed to her forehead. There was a thin white scar, and I remembered. On the night of the earthquake, she was the first person that I stitched up. And now, Marie is the first of several real woman friends in my neighborhood. The earthquake did that for me. It overstepped barriers of language and color and experience to create one singular bond. If you lived through the earthquake with me, you are my sister. You are my brother. And though I sometimes wish that my life looked a little bit more like that child's dream from years ago, I would not trade the fellowship of earthquake for anything.
That's it.
It's time for us to turn to the Jordan's Furniture